I am Andrew LaMar Hopkins, and I'm an artist. I love to paint miniatures because they are very small and intimate, which I love because I'm very detail-oriented. You can hold them into the palm of your hands, unlike a larger work of art, and get really close and personable and see the details in the piece. Because my work is mostly small, it's portable. I can take it, in a suitcase, I can take it around. I remember years ago being able to take paintings the size of a page to Paris and show art dealers. It's one thing to talk about your art to people, but to be able to pop an original piece out and show them this smaller work with all these wonderful details is just a lot better than a bigger piece. Ever since I was small, I have always loved history. I've always been interested in people and the way they lived. Growing up, I was taught the slave narrative that if you lived during this time period, you were an enslaved person. Around my teenage years, I figured out that that wasn't the case for everybody, that in the Gulf Coast, Mobile, where I'm from, Louisiana, there was a group of wealthy black people that owned properties, that spoke French, they were Catholic, they traveled, and they basically lived like their white counterparts. And this was just a completely different narrative than I was taught in school. Of course, it wasn't that much information on it, so I wanted to do the best I could do to give these people a voice, a face, and the recognition that they deserve. To me, this is a way of paying homage to those people that lived before us, especially in Louisiana and the Gulf Coast. I feel like the ancestors are talking to me to bring them back alive. These are the people that formed the culture that we enjoy today, and I feel it's my duty to bring these people alive on canvas. One of the people I paint over and over again is the famous voodoo queen of New Orleans, Marie Laveau. She was a black woman born here in the French Quarter on St. Anne Street in 1801, and she was probably the most powerful woman in most of 19th century New Orleans. She was Catholic. She was considered the voodoo queen. She had ancestry from Haiti, ancestry here from Louisiana. Everybody, white and black, looked up to this woman during the time of slavery. She was an amazing person. She seemed to have brought the races together, and she's one of the people that I like to pay homage to in my paintings. I've probably done over 100 paintings of her. To me, I feel the spirits are talking to me as I paint, so she's not gonna look the same in every painting. I have a lot of fun with Marie Laveau and just kind of let her guide me and talk to me. As an artist that paints history, I love to include things that I like to collect into my paintings, like this personal pharmacy jar is 18th century French. This particular jar is over 200 years old. It was made in Rouen, it's beautifully painted. This is a personal one, so it's smaller. The pharmacist would mix your potion or herbs or whatever in this from the bigger jars, and you would take this home. It is made out of faience and made to look like porcelain. Faience is darker than porcelain, so they would dip it in the glaze, then paint this beautiful hand-painted blue design that you see on it. And I mean, look at this, it's hand-painted, it's handmade, it's a unique piece, and it's a part of our history. Being the first living artist to have a solo exhibit at the Louisiana State Museum was the honor of a lifetime. I've always loved museums, and I moved here in my mid-teens. I was connected with the State Museum as this nerdy kid talking to curators, looking at the exhibit, doing research there, and I felt like it came full circle. To be able to walk by Jackson Square and see these ancient 18th century buildings with my name on it was just the biggest honor I can think of. Waking up in Creole, New Orleans and seeing myself on the front page of the New York Times was absolutely amazing. You can't do anything after that. You can just die and go to heaven once that happens. I was so excited, I was so happy. I didn't know what to do, I didn't know what to scream, but it was a pivotal point in my career and kind of the beginning of people knowing what I do and what I paint and what I'm all about and who I am. So I was exposed to the world in one of the best ways through the New York Times. When I found out that the National Gallery acquired my self-portrait of Desiree Josephine Duplantier and was going to be exhibited in the National Gallery in Washington, D.C., that was amazing. It was a major feat for the museum to have this person that was gay and a drag queen and of color in their collection to be shown to, the world. Just to have a piece of art that I painted in the National Gallery of Washington, D.C. is major for a living artist. Being on the cover of Garden and Gun magazine, that was a wonderful experience. My favorite part of being on the cover was actually buying the magazine myself and waiting for the person checking me out to say, "Is that you?" It's extremely exciting to be a part of Arlene's Gallery, which is celebrating the best of Louisiana, to be in the heart of the Arts District on Julia Street. It's historic to be able to show Louisiana art at this location of this caliber. Is just a wonderful thing for Louisiana and New Orleans.